Yes, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to United Review. My name is Stephen Howson. Today I am delighted to be joined by my old man. I watched the game with him and I thought the first one for a new show would be my dad. I thought we would do that. So we've got 3 talking points that we're going to do for you guys today. Then we're going to give you a little bit about our thoughts. We'll come to you guys in the comments. We was going to take some videos, but so thank you to everybody that sent us a video, but it's been a bit of a struggle to get us out on time, obviously with Dave using the same facility to do his as well. So we will do those in the next one. We will take videos from you guys on social media. But thank you guys for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the game. We got 3 points.
We did. A good start. After all the doom and gloom of the transfer window, tonight's been a big, a pick-up for the fans and obviously for the team, the way they reacted at the end. So, yeah, good start. Cracking start.
So the first thing I want to talk about, and to you guys as well as you, Luke Shaw. So he looked pretty defensively solid. Caused a bit of panic in the opposition half when he got himself forward. Definitely a bonus seeing him bag his first senior goal. Can he unsettle Ashley Young, please?
Yeah,
as
without a doubt.
First choice.
He's a left back. He is a left back. He's not a converted right back or winger. He's a left back. He gave us more options in their half, and he did his defensive duties. Yeah, all right. He was out of position a couple of times, and they got a cross into the box. But we've not had a left-footed player, an out-and-out left-footed player, in the opposing half. Since when? The early days of Daily Blind.
Yeah, arguably. I mean, he didn't really get in the opposition half that much either. If I play devil's advocate a little bit here now and say, what about Luke Shaw? He looks this good, but on the back of what he's just done in Dubai. For everybody asking, no, I haven't left full-time doubles in the comments. Stop panicking. Just been really busy. For everybody that's saying Luke Shaw looked fantastic, if I literally just play devil's advocate, it's not what I believe, but I'm just playing the other side of the fence here a minute. Is it because he didn't go to the World Cup and he's grafted in pre-season? Is he 10% sharper than everybody else on the pitch?
Yeah, but he needed to be, didn't he? He needed to prove himself to himself and to Mourinho. So, yeah, he's took himself off to Dubai, got himself fit. Mourinho went with him, took him on the tour, played half decent on the tour, and continued his pre-season training. So, yeah, he will look sharp. Let's hope he can stay fit. That's the big thing with Luke Shaw. If
Luke Shaw can stay fit and he can replicate the kind of form that we saw under Louis van Gaal prior to the leg break, that was a hell of a footballer. I thought that guy had gone.
Yeah.
I'm happy that he's done this, and I'm very willing to give him a chance because I think he's infinitely better when fit than Ashley Young. But on the other side, we had Darmian.
You don't like Ashley Young?
Really? I thought I'd hidden it from everybody.
No, you haven't.
Did everybody know? I thought I was subtle enough with it.
No, you haven't.
On the other side, we had Darmian, who he had a shot. I was there for that. I don't know if we start making T-shirts, but I was there when Darmian had a shot.
Yeah.
We've just sent Timothy Fosu-Mensah out on loan. He impressed early part of the season, and I think he lost his place a little bit at Palace because they was like, why are we wasting our time on that youngster? We've got our own youngster in Wan-Bissaka, who's a very good footballer. I think he lost his place because they wanted to put the faith in their own player rather than Fosu-Mensah. Would he have done a similar job to Luke Shaw on the opposite flank there at fullback? Because I think the right back has got a lot to be desired, and we'll come into that in a second. Actually, when we start looking at the average positioning of some of our players, because it was evident watching the game. It's even more evident, obviously, when you check the stats. You think Fosu-Mensah could have been doing a job for us at fullback?
I think he could have done a better job than Darmian tonight. He was getting forward, but then he had the touch of the Valencias. The brakes come on, and it's a 2-yard pass to Mata, or a backward pass. He wasn't the one getting past. He wasn't offering himself further up the pitch. Halfway into the opposing half, into Leicester's half, he was there to take a ball, but he wasn't willing to go on with it. Find a byline, put a ball over.
That's what's lacking, and that's what I thought Luke Shaw did very well. The fact that he got a goal alone shows you how far and how often he was getting into the final third for the opposition.
Into their box.
Let's have a quick look at the average touches of the players here. So as you can see there, you've got the back four. You've got Luke Shaw and Darmian occupying very similar sort of spaces. You've got Bailey and Lindelof, who I thought was all right. I thought they was at times a little bit panicky, but that could be because it's a new partnership. The midfield three quite compact, I quite like that, and that's like literally how I expected it to be. You've got a 6, an 8, and a 10 almost there in the shape that you've got there with Pereira, and we're going to talk about him in a second because he was definitely a plus for us. Fred, who I thought had an excellent debut, and then Paul Pogba, who you guys voted our man of the match on social media. Now, the problem looking at this is, I think it was evident during the game as well, Rashford was a little bit withdrawn.
Yeah, he was isolated, wasn't he? And
Juan Mata was far too central. They're not stretching the defence there, and I think that is the problem. You can see Lukaku there, just shaded in green, ahead of Marcus Rashford. He obviously held the line that little bit higher. And I want to ask you, before we start talking about Andreas Pereira, can Pereira, because he can play in 4 or 5 different positions, can he do the job on the right-hand side? Because I guarantee you this, once Matic comes back into the team, he's back in the team.
Yeah.
And someone's going to lose out. And if I had to put money on it, it'd be Pereira that I think misses out.
It would be Pereira. You know, that's the way Mourinho works. You know, he's got faith in Matic for over the years, you know, at Chelsea and also at United. And it would be Andreas. It would be Andreas that lost out. That's without a doubt. He's not going to lose. You know, he's not going to drop Fred. He just bought him.
Yep, absolutely not.
You know, like Sanchez. You know, he won't leave Sanchez out.
No, he's definitely got his favourites, hasn't he?
And well, it's my team. It's that Mourinho, my team, my players. And if he's bought you, you're playing.
Yeah, you're in good shape, aren't you?
You know, that's his mentality. So yeah, I think it would be Pereira that had lost out. Now, if he can do a job on the right hand side, because we are lacking a right winger.
Big time. And you can see why he wanted like a Willian or even a Bale.
Yeah, it's shown tonight. You know, like you said, Mata was coming too central, leaving a big space down that right hand side. Now, I'm not saying Fosu Mensah had filled that space, but Darmian didn't. He filled half of it, but he didn't have, whether it was the courage or whatever, to take that step. You know, take the full-back on, run past the full-back and get a ball, you know, slice the defence open. He didn't do it, and he didn't offer that option.
We've got 1,300 people watching. Can we get to 500 likes? I think you can do it. My dad don't believe you. I think you can do it. Get 500 likes on this video straight away. Right, let's have a look then at Andreas Pereira's involvement in today's game, because I thought Pereira was well worth a shout for man of the match. So finally managed to get his name on a team sheet in the Premier League, despite having been at the club since a teenager. He's impressed Mourinho by his willingness to play in deeper roles. He's not thrown his teddy out the pram and said, I play here or I play there. He's gone, this is what I like to see about players. Like, they take an unfamiliar position, because he's played literally, you know, left wing, right wing, number 10, especially when he was on loan, and he's took hold of this deep role, and he looks Carrick-like, doesn't he? He's got that real calmness about his play.
Didn't he play that position in Spain, though? He played that in Spain a few times.
A little, but he was mostly played as a winger. Granada mostly a winger, and Valencia was a little bit all over the place.
The games I've seen him play last season, he was like a defensive mid, bringing it out, doing what he did tonight.
Back on screen again for us, so you can see his touches. He was collecting it from the defence. He was carrying it forward. And I think that was a good thing that we had all the 3 midfielders that we played at the start. It definitely changed later on. But at the start, all the 3 of the midfielders that we had were all forward-thinking, forward-playing midfielders.
Yeah, and it was the little flicks from Pereira, from Fred, Pogba, that was opening space up, which is, you know, that little bit of flair we haven't seen. We haven't seen that for a couple of years. You know, now whether it's, you know, Fred's brought it to the table. So if he can do it, I can do it. Was it
Jose that said every team needs a Brazilian? Because he picked 2 tonight in midfield, and the difference at times was evident, wasn't it?
Yeah. And you know, them little flicks was putting 2 men out. He was taking 2 Leicester players out, putting people in space. You know, Fred's full of tricks. We've seen that tonight. But so's Pereira. And I think the more games he gets, I know, you know, Matic is going to be out for a while after the operation. So maybe he can cement that place over the next couple of months.
That's what you hope, don't you? That someone takes his chance. Marcus Rashford's in the team, wearing the number 10, which I'm really happy about tonight, because he took his chance better than anyone I've ever seen take their chance. Andreas Pereira's got an opportunity here now, while Matic is out, at least for all of August, to go, I belong in this squad, don't fuck me off on loan, and don't let me...
I think he's probably looking at, definitely up to the break, up to the international, but I don't think Matic will be fit. I think you're probably looking at a good...
Well, he needs a pre-season after this.
Exactly, so you're looking at end of September, early October, before Matic is anything like fully fit. It's up to Andreas. If he can grab this with both hands, who's to say Matic is walking back in? You never know.
Well,
I think we do. I think we do know. Yeah, I think we do know. But it's up to him. It's up to the lad. If he carries on like tonight's performance, there's going to be harder games. Spurs are coming up in a couple of games' time. City, Liverpool are not far behind.
Yeah.
There's going to be harder games than tonight, especially away from home. But if he can play and do the simple things, like you said seen on the graphic before, why not? He's putting himself in a midfield three. Fred was running off him, Pogba was running off him, and he was creating space and looking for outlet balls to Shaw. So
the midfield looked very good. I think everyone's in agreement with that one. But we only had 8 shots on 8 shots with 6 being on target, so it was more accurate than we have been in a little while. But Leicester had significantly more than that with 13 shots. I haven't seen, if someone can slack it to me, the comments that Jose Mourinho's had after the match, because supposedly he was quite happy. So can someone send me those over and I'll have a quick check of the comments. Now, if we look at so let's have a look quickly at Pogba's average touches tonight, or average involvement. So Pogba was obviously there on the left hand side. We see the 3 there in the middle of the box, which is obviously the clearances, which Graham Souness is devastated about. But we can see most of Pogba's involvement there is at least in the opposition half, if not edging towards the final third, because United actually didn't get that forward. If we go back to the average touches of the entire team, you'll be able to see there that the whole side was basically withdrawn. Yeah. We wasn't quite in their box. We could be 5-10 yards further up and putting a bit more pressure on. That was a little bit to do with Leicester's line and also a little bit to do with what we did ourselves. If we go back to, let's have a look at Pogba then. So Pogba, very effective in the final third, clearly all on the left-hand side there. Let's have a quick look at Fred. Fred a little bit all over the place, probably not really focusing any one side, quite a bit on the left as well there. Maybe the involvement from Fred isn't so much on the right.
Isn't that something we've not had?
Yeah.
A midfielder.
Well, he's box to box, isn't he? Look at him. He's all the way down and in our box.
We have not had that
and all the way up
since Roy Keane. I'm not saying he's the same type of player, the snappy, whatever as Roy Keane, but energy-wise, that's as good as Kante.
He just said it, kinda.
That's what Kante does.
Maybe I think he's a little better on the ball than Kante.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
The coverage
Andres
of the
Pereira
ground
again. So we can see Pereira's. That's very focused and very much in our half as well.
But
like that.
him playing there, him doing what he's done in our half, has allowed Pogba to play in their half. Fred being all over the pitch has led the support to Pogba, which in turn has fed Sanchez, Rashford.
Well, let's have a look then. So why did we create so few chances? Because the midfield was excellent. Let's pull up Marcus Rashford and see where Marcus was, because Marcus was a little bit isolated. I thought there's some work on the flanks there. The X's represent where he's lost possession, or he's had a negative action. So it might be a misplaced pass or a bad touch or something like that. So you can see there's quite a bit of an indifferent sort of return there from Marcus, and it's everywhere. It's not really focused. And then let's pull up Sanchez, because Sanchez is, as you can see, that's a lot focused on the left, but there's a lot of times Sanchez lost possession.
Hell of a lot.
But he also created the most chances tonight. So is he forcing it? Is he trying too much? Is he off the pace? Because he had a great pre-season. So what's the thinking behind that?
Tonight it was just his final ball. He was full of energy. He was up and down that. He was up and down the left wing. Yeah, he was trying. Maybe the iffy ball, the 50-50 ball, where it comes off. You look like Messi. You start to split defenders and one sticks a leg out. The crowd's moaning. But if it comes off, it's a goal or it's a chance. All right, he did it probably a bit too often tonight, and he did lose a lot of possession. But he's still got the energy. You know, he's still running. You know, he's still running at 90 odd minutes, which is, you know, what we've not had. You know, you put him, Sanchez, Fred, Pereira, they're all working. They're up and down the pitch. You know, you've seen from Fred's stats. There's not many blades of grass he missed on that pitch.
No, there isn't. What we said earlier, didn't we, that these are three forward-looking players. These are three players that want to get forward. And I think if you could criticise United for slow build-up last year, it literally was that. It took us too long to pull it out of defence and push it into the final third.
And by that time,
you're
looking at a wall.
Yeah.
You're
It's allowed the defence to reset. I didn't think that was the case tonight whatsoever. Let's have a look at the passes and see what the most frequent passes was, because I think it was mostly coming from Luke Shaw. You've got Darmian playing it inside to Mata a little bit there, and then Mata into Fred. You've obviously got Luke Shaw there feeding both Pereira, back to Lindelof, and then into Paul Pogba. I think what's lacking from there is the balls coming from Fred and from Pogba into the final third.
Yeah.
I think that's literally what we're lacking in that one.
Well, you weigh up the way Rashford was, especially in the first half. He was up there on his own with 2 or 3 defenders. He was isolated. He was looking for the long ball to run onto. 9 times out of 10,
that didn't.
He was hit short.
You've got Marcus Rashford as a number 9. You can't play like you're playing with Lukaku.
No,
because he's not the same thing. I don't know if Marcus Rashford's ever won a header in his life. And you're playing it up to him with his back to goal. That's not his game. If you want to play it for Marcus Rashford, you've got to put it round the corner, or you've got to put it through, or you've got to bang it over the top.
You've got to give him something to run on, which we didn't do.
Right, we've got the quotes here from Jose Mourinho from his post-match stuff. So we've got Mourinho, I don't want you to leave without saying Andreas Pereira. From the bench and right wing at Valencia, he comes to Old Trafford and he plays a phenomenal match. That has to be a bonus, doesn't it? That he's saying such positive things there. Pogba was a monster. We said maximum 60 minutes and he played longer. Fair enough. On whether making Paul Pogba was a vote of confidence, captain, that is. Paul is one of the options. He's in his 3rd season, made in the academy, understands the club, good relationship with the boys. An example today of making himself available to try and help the team. I wonder if that's the end of the rumours of Paul Pogba going, because they're well-founded rumours. Now, we was told a few weeks back, obviously, that there was a very real chance of him going to Barcelona. That proved to be right with the bid that ended up coming this week for him, which was atrocious. They might as well have included a mint arrow in the bid because it was a piss take. Should we go to the comments and see what you guys are saying? We've still got the key passes to have a look at. So if you look here, I want to talk to you about this a little bit. We've sort of covered it, but if you look there, there's only 2 passes coming from the right-hand side. That's the first half key passes from United. Most of them, we've got 5, 6 of them coming from the left-hand side there. If we look at the second half ones, again, mostly coming from the left-hand side or central, which again proves the point that United aren't as well balanced as we perhaps could be.
That's like we've been saying. We've got nothing, or we had nothing down the right. Mata's never going to take a full back on. You know, he'll do it with a 1-2 or whatever. But Darmian didn't do the push. He didn't push on. You know, whether that is orders or he's just not got the confidence to do it.
Alex in the comments says Rashford scored a header on his debut against Arsenal. Shut up, Alex. Didn't happen.
Yeah, it did, Alex.
Anstey's Red says, loving the new format. The graphics are perfect, not imposing or distracting. Thank you. This is a show that I've wanted to do for a long time. There's going to be evolutions of this. We're going to, like I said, bring in videos from people. We're going to be putting more and more things on the screen, but obviously you can imagine the rush of getting back from Old Trafford and into the studio to get as much done as we can. Jabanier says, Jose deserves some credit for today. Pogba, Shaw, and the right change at the right time equals good management. I thought we took our foot off the gas massively with McTominay and Fellaini coming on, absolutely. Andrew 96 says, Lindelof needs to lift some weights. Other than that, he was solid alongside Babe. Fred looks good too. But the same with Lindelof, he needs to get used to the physicality. Turkey's not a soft league, though, is it? No. I wouldn't have thought. Loving Pogba taking the pen and letting Sanchez know it was his. Not seen that yet. I don't know if that's the case. But I tell you this, I was absolutely cacking myself on the run-up because that was one of those, here we go.
How many times have you seen them when they mess about with the run-up, it either ends up in Rose head or the keeper just picks it up off the floor? You know, just get it tucked, stride up to it, give it a crack, get it in the net. Stop mess about with it.
Mason says, is it just me slightly worried about Pogba? No celebration and saying there's things going on Twitter. I haven't seen that, so I'm going to, while we're live, I'm going to pull Pogba up on Twitter right now and answer that question. But what I would say to you is, I'll always give my best to the fans and my teammate no matter what's going on. Well, yeah.
That's not a no.
That's not a no. Look, like I said to you, is when I was told 80% chance that Paul Pogba's leaving, that was because people inside the club knew that Raiola wants to move him. Regardless of what Paul Pogba says, there's talk that Raiola's not going to force him into a move that he doesn't want to make. Let's put it that way. Yeah. No, he works for Paul Pogba, not the other way around. So whether or not Paul Pogba's prepared to throw his teddy out the pram and proper stamp his feet, probably not, because I think he has got some affection for the club. He's just fell out with one guy, and that one guy is obviously Jose Mourinho. So I don't think this is over.
No, I don't think it's over. But I think with him giving him the armband, it could be a watch this space. Now, if in a couple of games' time he decides Bailey's having it, then he might throw the teddies out. You know, if he's putting in performances like he did tonight, doing nothing wrong, you know, getting into positions where, you know, he can affect the play, he's scoring goals, then all of a sudden, oh no, I want him to be captain now. Whoa, what have I done wrong?
I'm not sure that's the case. I like that they also ran over to David De Gea at the end as well to go and give him the armband. Can I just say, we've got 1850 watching live, which I think is the most we've ever had on one of the live videos that we've done. So if all of you go and give it a share, we might end up with a ton more. So share it on your Twitter, share it on everywhere. We're probably going to do another 10 minutes or so of questions, and then we're going to call it a day. So please give it a share. Make sure you're liking it, and let's see if we can get over 2,000 people watching, because that would be awesome. We're top of the league. Loads to be positive about after the rubbish pre-season that we had.
Settle down.
Are we top of the league?
Yeah,
is it factual?
Yeah, no, we're top of the league. You know, the best thing for me for tonight, to come from tonight, was Eric Bailly. How glad I was when they seen the team. He will form a partnership with Lindelof. It will take a few games, it'll take time. But that man will run. You know, if you said to him there's a ball on the other side of that wall, right, I'm going for it. And he will go for it.
But he also looks like he can get injured every second of the day.
Yeah, he does.
I don't know if he looks more prone to it or Phil Jones does.
No, it's Phil Jones all day long. But Eric Bailly gives you that confidence that, you know, your Eric Vardy's, you know, they can move. You know, we've seen it in one of Bailly's first games at Charity Shield a few years ago.
Yeah.
And Vardy took off against him. He had to turn, and he still beat Vardy. You know, in games since then he's tried shoulder charging him and bounced off. You know, the guy is immense when he's fit. And tonight, I hope that was the start of, you know, a good run of games for Eric Bailly.
Well, one of the positives is that AFCON's been moved to the summer now. Not a positive if you're playing in it, I guess, but it's a positive for African players playing in the top flights in Europe, because I know that Fergie didn't want to sign any African players because of that. No.
Well, you lose them, you know, if they're in and half decent, you know, your Nigerias, Senegal, all the rest of them.
Ivory Coast, Liberia.
Ivory Coast. They could be good for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And half of them come back with some kind of injury or whatever. You know, how many times did Tory come back with, you know, some kind of fever or whatever? So again, you've lost them again for a month. That's why Fergie would never sign them. Obviously, over the last few years, you know, the more and more coming into the Premier League, and that's not been the case. You know, you still lose them, but you know, we've just had a World Cup. Ended 3 weeks ago?
How bad is it going to be when World Cup in Qatar comes around and it's in November? I don't know what the hell does the season have to start 5-6 weeks early? Does it go on longer? It's an absolute mess, isn't it?
Well, but you've not even said what they're going to do yet. Are they going to have a break?
They have to, because you need a training camp for your team.
So where's your Champions League going?
Exactly.
You know, it just makes it knackers every European.
We're going to be having Champions League final in July somewhere, aren't we?
If you're lucky. You know, don't forget that these teams are going to want the players a month before the tournament starts.
It's not really a month. They don't want them a month before the tournament starts because
how long
a lot of them are still
from when the FA Cup was.
Yeah, 20th of May.
To the start of the tournament.
The following week is the Champions League final. None of them are starting until that week, really. So
no, I think there was a few in. It's like 2 or 3 weeks before the tournament starts. Then you're away. Now you could be away a month. You know, when you're going to start? Ends in the World Cup final the week before Christmas or something like that. 17th or 18th of December.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we said we're going to be throwing cups of hot chocolate around instead of pints.
Yeah. You know, so
Christmas markets.
Nearly 2 months. You know, from start to finish, from the the teams getting together. It's just going to knacker every European league up, for starters. But what's the clubs going to have to say? Because their big money is Champions League, Europa League.
Well, they're just going to pause it, aren't they? It's going to start earlier. I reckon they probably split it. They say, right, if we're away for 6 weeks, or if it's going to take 6 weeks out, we go 3 weeks early on the start of the season. So you might start the season in July, like last week of July, 2023 or whenever it is, 2024, 2022, I don't know. And then you might go, whatever it is, 2026.
2022.
Is it 2022? No. I don't know.
It's
Whatever
one.
it is.
It's the next one.
Is it really that close?
Yeah.
It's flying away, isn't it? You're well old. And then you might go 3 weeks later at the end of the season.
Yeah, but so what do you do? Start your Champions League group games earlier, and then where they normally
Everything starts early.
Then when they normally have the break from December to February, have it from November to
you just
January.
split the season, don't you? So whatever's happening at that point of the season shifts 3 weeks to the left, and then you have that, and then everything that happens from then onwards goes 3 weeks to the right. And I reckon that's the way to do it. Otherwise, it's a mess. It shouldn't be there in the first place. You can't bid on something saying that you want it because you're going to air condition all the stadiums, and then go, we can't air condition the stadiums. We're still cool to have it, and we're going to move it. What an absolute joke.
Yeah, well, how many envelopes flew around?
Allegedly. Right, let's leave it on this. Who's your man of the match?
For me, I would say it's a toss-up between Eric Bailey and Pereira. Probably Pereira.
I'm going to say Andreas Pereira. I thought he was excellent. Very mature performance. Hope he can get more opportunities like that. Cement it and make it his for this month. You guys let us know in the comments who you guys think is your man of the match. Obviously, we voted it as Paul Pogba on social media, but if you want to change that up, we can do that. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like if you're new, subscribe as well. We are probably going to be doing this after every weekend game because I think it gets a bit too late for some of the midweek Champions League games. We're looking at like a midnight finish like this. But you never know, maybe we'll do it once we get to the knockouts and stuff like that. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one. Laters. Welcome to the Stephen Howson Football Channel. This is where I will take you through everything that I do revolving around football, be it that at Old Trafford or elsewhere. This is where you will get your match previews, your reviews, your football vlogs, your scout reports, your transfer talk, your youth reviews, your documentaries and anything and everything revolving around football. I absolutely love this game. Do me a favour and subscribe. Thank you for watching.